Resented. Hated. Hated the Aztec rule because they were forced to pay taxes to the Aztecs. They saw the Spanish as their saviors, and Cortez used this to his benefit. In his final attack on Tenochtitlan, his 900 Spanish soldiers were joined by as many as 150,000 natives. Okay, I think there's something really important here in this paragraph. When I look back at the subtitle, the Spanish army had more resources and weapons. Well, we figured out what weapons they had, so that leaves us with resources. What important details from this paragraph could we maybe use and put together to make a central idea for all of this? Is there anything we can use from here? Think resources. Maya, what do you think?
They have more natives.
They used help, right? Like they used help from other people. They were forced to pay taxes. The Aztecs had allies, but many native groups resented, hated the Aztecs. Okay? So, there were 900 Spanish soldiers and 150,000 more natives that were working with the Spaniards. Okay, so when we talk about resources, that's one of the resources. They had allies, they had friends. Okay, they were able to defeat the Aztecs with help. Let's keep that idea going for the last little paragraph here. The Europeans brought with them diseases which the American tribes had no natural immunity, there's our word. Okay, so like we said, talking about sickness, resistance, the tribes had no natural immunity against. In other words, what was happening to the Aztecs?
They're dying.
They're all dying from what?
Disease.
Diseases, yeah, cough, cold, flu, worse. Illness spread like wildfire, simile, killing millions of both the Aztecs and Incas. All right, so, diseases. Would you call that more of a resource or more of a weapon? Ooh, fancy. I like it. I agree. Weapon. So, using the title here, it's time to make another central idea for this part. Central idea. Okay, so if we're focusing on resources and weapons, what kind of details should we put into our central idea? Help me out here. Give you a hint. It's some of the things that we underlined. What main details can we put in to make a central idea?
War.
Yeah, they were fighting. War. What did they fight with? What did they use?
Weapons.
Weapons. What kind of weapons?
Guns. Swords.
Guns, swords, cannons. So, using guns. Actually, let's lump that all together. Guns, swords, and cannons. Now we've learned a lot about like the Industrial Revolution and everything in social studies. That was improving what overall? I'll give you a hint. You carry cell phones in your pockets today. You have laptops. Maya? Oh, not just size.
Guns.
Begins with a T, ends with technology.
Technology.
Technology, yeah. So using better weapon technology. What else were they using? What other resources did they have?
Animals.
What kind of animals? Horses. And what else did they use? Brandon?
Their allies. Natives.
Allies, yeah. Horses. Allies. And disease. Okay, using better weapon technology, horses, allies, and diseases, The Spanish did what to the Aztecs?
Killed them.
Killed them. What else can we say? Conquistadors.
Conquered.
Conquered. Good. Can you guys read that okay?
Yeah.
I know it's in an awkward spot. Diana. Yes, you can. Right, so we're taking all of this, again, using, like we practiced, using the subtitle to help us. The Spanish army had more resources and weapons. Well, using those resources and weapons, they defeat the Aztecs. They conquer them, okay? That's us taking ideas or details and putting them together to make a central idea. You guys think you could handle the rest of this? Doing the same idea. Going section by section, so the next section down here, Moctezuma makes a fatal mistake. Okay, it's going to be your turn. You're going to read that section, try and figure out what are some important details, look for the mistake he makes, that's probably going to be in your central idea, summarizing it all together at the end, because we've got a central idea for the section that was up here, we've got a central idea for this section, there are 3 more sections left. Okay, there's makes a fatal mistake, yes, let's see. There's fatal mistake, Montezuma submits to Cortez, and then Incan Empire conquered by Pizarro. So you have 3 more sections to work with, okay? Using the same ideas that we did here, even together, you are going to work and find central ideas for each of those. So that means you will have, let's see, 5 sections, 5 central ideas. All right, at the end of that, we're going to put those 5 central ideas together, kind of like in a paragraph. It creates, exactly, Nunu, a summary of the article. All right, that's the skill that we're working on today. So, I'm going to give you guys time now. You can go back to your desks, read, annotate, interact with the text, and make sure that you are finding those central ideas. All right.